One.
What? Why would you do this?
It's
I was
been
waiting for
too
it.
long.
It actually has
It's
been too long.
been 4,000 years.
Technically, it's been like 3 years, but yeah.
Well, not since someone said one on a stream.
I don't know. Nobody really did it for orphans.
That's
You guys
true.
did, like maybe once or twice.
That's true. Honestly,
That's
no one.
because-
Orphans 3 years.
That's because you were the GM, Connor.
Yeah, because that's my thing. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what I do.
It's
One.
not. It's not your thing. It's Emily Valdez's thing, I think. Question mark.
Who was the first? I want to know who the first one to ever do it was.
It may have been.
We'll have to research this
Honestly,
later.
well, that's the thing. We did it for like a year and a half or
Mhm.
whatever before the Terranolius people.
Because
So
I know I did it a couple times without even knowing Emily did it.
Yeah.
But I don't know when that was.
it may have been afterwards. But
The
even
first
if it's,
time someone asked for a countdown from 3, 2, 1 was the first time somebody did that. Okay.
I mean,
So,
yes, but we mean us.
I know.
All right, David. Anyway, yeah, that's all unimportant. We're back with
Yep.
Elysian Road, guys. It's
All
been
right,
a
we'll find out.
long time since we've been able to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Literally like almost 3 years, I think.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy. But yeah, we're kind of coming back around with this group to finish off some campaigns that have been in hiatus for far too long. And we're gonna do Elysian Road next. If you watched our little bonus content thing where we talk about future campaigns, you will know that Josh has, for the foreseeable future, ducked out of all RPG stuff, except for maybe one-shots here and there. He might join for one of those. But so Till will not be making a reappearance. Well, his character will still be there, but Josh will not be playing Till in Elysian Road, which is very sad. You're muted, Carly, if you're trying to say something.
I just said I didn't know that.
Oh, did you not know
Oh.
that until right now?
He wasn't free to
No, yeah. So yeah, Josh is, well, he went back to school. So and Tuesdays are his like busiest day. And just in general, school busyness has made it so that priorities have shifted and no longer going to be a part of the campaigns, but all good. We will continue on. Till was kind of the mentor side character to all of you anyway, right? You guys are like the main thrust of the game, and Till was always a support character. So that'll be relatively easy to change. I'll try to play Till to the best of my ability. I'd like to think that in season 2, like maybe Till's actor got recast or something because we couldn't get the actor back, and so that's why things will be slightly different.
So in season 1, they had a super famous actor for Till,
Right.
and then the show really took off, and the lead actor wanted more for playing Till, and they were like, "We can't do that. We have to use the rest of our budget for special effects to
Right.
to really show things up and
Really ramp up. Yeah. So Till got recast. But we'll continue on here. So yeah,
we should change his token for that reason.
honestly, I might. That would be kind of funny.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't do
Oh,
that.
man.
So but Connor will be returning as Evelyn, Jared is Fergus, David is Ode, Carly is Dylan.
And Jared has already turned the ship upside down.
Of course he has.
I need to stay true to the spirit of the
I just
campaign.
assumed it was like that.
No, it was not. But yeah, so we're returning to Elysian Road, which we're pretty pumped about, and right today we're gonna do a little bit of a recap. So a couple things are gonna happen tonight. We're going to give a recap of season 1, the main highlights, so everybody's caught up. Connor's almost watched back through the whole thing. Jared's watched through a little bit of it, but I know David and Carly haven't. I have, so I'll be able to give you these highlights. So we'll do that. And then we're going to talk about the starting state of the game. We'll talk a little bit about like what is actually happening, because we had a few ideas of how the campaign was going to continue when we were talking after episode 15, but things have changed, and so we're gonna talk about what the actual kind of setup is going to be, and give you guys some expectations. We'll talk about that a bit. We will also give a refresher of the rules of Stars Without Number, so people are up to date at the very least as to like the basics of the way the game works. We'll learn it together again as we play. But then we'll go through each person's character sheet, and you guys can ask me questions if there's something you don't understand. We can look it up, and we'll get everybody up to date. So we can start next week with a new episode 16, episode 1 of season 2. of Elysian Road, which will be pretty fun. Carly's camera went off for some reason, but that's all right. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's do a. Oh, actually, I'll also do a refresher onto the sector. Let's actually start with that. Well, let's start with the sector map. So I sent a link. Obviously, you have the map on Roll20 here too, but I also sent a link to the sectors of that number map that I made, which is a little bit more detailed. So if you want to look at that, you can too. Oh, what is going on? This is really messing up. Okay, here we go. So
basically, we can click on each sector, and it'll tell us what planets are there, and that's nuts.
Yeah. Yep. So that's pretty cool.
It'll tell us like details of it, the atmosphere, temperature, biosphere, population, and tech level, and like the moons and the research bases and the space stations and planet tags, the kind of enemies it has, the things and places, the rigid culture. That's nuts. That's nuts.
There's a lot of stuff going on there. And apparently Carly has ducked out the Zoom call entirely, which has ruined all of the overlays. But that's fine, I guess.
That's fine, I guess.
So yeah, I'm realizing as we go here that the overlays are just not quite what they should be, and I'm having to edit them all ever so slightly. Which is fine. We're taking it slow here today on this recap. Okay, cool. So the entirety of season 1 happened in two systems. The Scylla system 0002 and the Vitskoy system 0103. So Scyllus is where Carly's from, where Dylan is from. The 3 planets there are Midas, New Kazern, and Xanless. You've been to all 3 of them, and you went there in season 1. So that's fun. There's lots of fun stuff going on there. It's ruled by the Athens Association. Vitskoy is the only planet you actually went to. You went to the small moon of Bratislav, orbiting the planet of Gunvey.
Ugh. Worst planet ever.
Yes, very much worst planet ever. Basically, the what's really funny is like it has, because it's a moon, it didn't get a full tag treatment in the randomization. It got 2 very short descriptor tags. The descriptor tags were as follows: power outage in the area, which I don't think really came up ever. But it was there if I wanted to use it as like a thing that happens. But the one that I really played into was strict gun control. That was the one main thing I knew about Bratislav, was that it had strict gun control. And it certainly did, and everyone was annoyed by it. So that was fun.
Fergus.
This is very strange.
I'm so surprised that cheap merchants weren't on there. Very, very demanding, or not very demanding, very intrusive merchants.
It was 0002, and what was the other?
0103.
Sorry, my computer's being weird, and the recording just dropped.
Oh,
trying to double check how to fix that briefly. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of really those are the 2 main systems that like have come up. Is just those 2. Vitskoy itself is mainly controlled by the Thousand Island Imperium, which is the main big bad of the sector. Empire. I'm not sure there's a whole lot else about it that you guys know, except it's like Samoan and Norse in its cultures, typically. Those are the main 2 cultural influences that it has. Called the Thousand Island Imperium primarily because of that Polynesian influence. The islands in this universe are systems now, right, for them, but they continue the kind of wayfinding sort of thing, except also conquering. So half Vikings, half Polynesians. But yeah, so they rules things there, but there's also the presence of the White Sun Brotherhood on Vitskoi, which is the remnant of what was once called the White Sun Protectorate, which was a galaxy-spanning like peacekeeping organization that basically like was a neutral organization that had like adjudicated between various problems that were like various systems that are having problems with each other. And they're primarily kind of like Japanese and English and it's like less American in their original cultural influences that they come from. You guys gave them the Hephaestus engine, so they have that right now.
We gave who the what?
The White Sun Brotherhood, the Hephaestus engine.
Oh, okay. I do that.
Good guys.
In theory, yes.
Oh, so they're gonna betray.
So yeah, the Athens, I guess in terms of the map, the little triangle here is the primary planets on which the Thousand Island Imperium has control. Mand is the planet that you guys originally were pro gamers on. Or not, Mand is the system. I think Swa is the planet. Yeah, Swa is the name of the planet you guys were on originally to do pro gamer stuff. Other than that,
what sector was that?
Mand. The Mand system.
What number is that?
0503.
Sure. Okay, perfect.
Yep. Yeah, all the other planets in that triangle there are controlled by the Thousand Island Imperium, well, including Mand now. Oedipal and Pentocan aren't really controlled by anyone. They're just there. Ito, Kazhern, Katla, and Astrid have various influences, including the Athens Association and the Temple of the Mind's Eye. Kazhern is actually 0600 is where Ode is originally from. His parents left there. And they were part of the Temple of the Mind's Eye, which is like psychic space Catholicism. Which is also what Fergus is from.
Remember that.
Fergus is originally from that religion, but he comes from the 0105 Pomelo, which I believe, Rhaetus is the planet he comes from. They're currently, and the other two planets on the little curve there, Powat and Ramaval, those systems are controlled by the Dharma Unity, which is a kind of Hindu Buddhist cult. That is having some religious warfare there. The only other important planet systems we have this black hole here, 0407, which is nicknamed JHN.
Yeah.
Well, JHN is it's a JHN and then numbers here with the designation. The Divide system is where the All Saints Church of God is. That's also where the Order of the Dust did their mission in that side story we did to get that relic. So that was that system. Kos is where the Order of the Dust is from. So that mercenary organization. And then lastly, we have Kanto in the real bottom right corner, 0709, which is controlled by Paragon Science, which has come up a few times in kind of in like a mysterious way related to stuff happening in this sector.
I completely forgot that I have psychic powers now.
You do. And so speaking of that, let's do this. Would everyone like to give a brief description of their characters, and then we will jump into the game itself, and we'll recap. So now that everybody knows where everything is again.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so excited. Okay, so my character is Evelyn Leidner. She is 16 years old, unless that has changed since the end of the season 1. She's 16, and she's got blonde hair. She's just like I think she's a little bit taller than most girls her age and average build, and she has the ability. She is a half psychic, half expert. So a multi-class psychic expert, and she can see the future. She has precognition, and she has focus and skill. No, and she's got a good lead skill.
You sure you
and
don't have a
is generally
focus in
just
skill?
the
Yes.
like.
Why don't you have a focus in the skill? Yes. That's what I'm
Yes.
confused about.
Oh, more no jokes.
Yep.
Oh, we haven't
We've-
made those in years.
Yep.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But do you yes what I'm saying? That's the real question. Okay, continue.
Okay. All right, a little too much. Okay. Yeah, so she was originally a pro gamer in the RTS games, real-time strategy, and she, for the most part of season 1, was very emotionless and only logical, and acted like a soldier the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Except for that one episode where she decided she wanted to learn about love.
Okay, that was incredible, and
Yeah.
you all know it.
Yeah, it was fun.
and she had a perfectly reasonable character arc. That made perfect sense.
No, I know. But you were just like she just acted like a soldier the whole time. And I was like, well,
Was that the
Yeah,
was
she's
that
still a
the
teenage girl.
Violet Evergarden
Yes.
episode? Yeah.
mhm.
Yep. Have you seen Violet Evergarden now?
I saw part of it with Jerica, and then she stopped
okay.
watching it, so I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, yeah.
But
So
I'll get
That's what the character was originally based off of.
the inspiration for her character is 100% Violet Evergarden. Yes. But taken to a very different extreme.
It's Violet Evergarden, not like becoming a normal citizen after being a soldier, but rather like still being a soldier and having that personality all the way through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. She has no writing outlet.
Exactly. Yeah.
So she responds to everything in the same way. But throughout the course of the season, she started to figure out emotions and become more of a person. That hasn't fully happened yet, but she definitely feels like she has a home with the Void's Grace family.
Yeah. The Void's Grace family. Okay, anyway. Ode Anger, who you?
Yeah.
Did you describe her powers?
Yep, she can see the future.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much
Yeah, go on,
right
David.
there.
So Ode is, I actually don't remember how old he is, but I mean they're all kids basically. So he's a kid.
So I remember. Fergus is 13. Evelyn is 16. Ode is 15. Dylan is 17. And Till is 41.
41.
Yeah.
And then Ziva is 12.
Choice 12. Yeah. So we have the full run from 1-2
12,
to
13,
1-7.
41, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Ziva.
Ziva Lascari.
She's
We'll
the
get to
girl
her.
that.
Yeah,
The first time that I was like, I'm going to take on a trainee and be like, all right, I'm going to show you how futile it is to fight. And then she crits me. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I guess now I can't convince you not to come get yourself killed. So sucks to be you, I guess.
Well, her family just
I
died.
spent the whole episode being like, this is the most dangerous place you could possibly be. And she was like, no, it's fine. I'll just crit you. And I'm like, all right, well, just keep doing that, I guess, every day. It'll be fine. But yeah, so he is a metalhead pro gamer who plays FPS games, but like I think it was like basically like a haptic VR. Like it wasn't just, he doesn't just use a mouse. He actually like moves around and shoots people with a fake gun. Basically, he's a tryhard at a game that everyone else is probably using a controller in. Yeah, and he, I think, like doesn't quite, I don't know where his character is now at the end of the thing, but at the beginning he did not quite appreciate the gravity of having to murder people. But yeah, we have stun weapons to sort of remedy that. But yeah, and he's basically good at shooting things. That's basically what he's good at. And he also has post cognition. So I'm the opposite of Evelyn. I see the past. which is a little less useful when you're being shot at. You can tell whether or not someone else has been shot there before, I guess. Which, yeah. So, but to be fair, she paid for her psychic powers, and I crawled in through a crawl space and got irradiated by space. So I feel like it's okay. It's fair.
Yeah, that was dumb, by the way. They failed a luck save, and you're like, "Oh, I'll give them special powers."
Yeah, but no. What
That's
happened
how I'll
was
punish
we
them.
failed a luck save in the game, and then we passed the most absurd real life luck save ever, where we rolled on the Necronomicon, where the most
it's like
terrible things you could ever imagine.
10,000 mutation
Yep.
results, and they just happen to get the ones that give them psychic
Most
powers.
of them are terrible.
What?
Yes.
You grow 7 new arms, but
Yep.
we both happen to roll superpowers, literally,
Yep.
and they both happen to make sense as psychic powers, and so we went with
That's
it.
nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, that's way more incredible than I thought it was. Because we didn't do that in game.
No, we did it
off
afterwards.
screen.
Yep.
And I was so
Oh.
irritated listening to it. I was like, Caleb was so inconsistent with this stuff.
Yeah, no, that was mind blowing when that happened. We were like, no way.
Yep.
That's incredible.
It happened to me, and I'm like, awesome, I got superpowers. And then Carly rolled and was like, I got superpowers. I'm like, no way.
But it ended up making basically one of the main thrusts of the campaign for me, which we'll get to. Who's Fergus?
I'm sorry, what's his last name, Caleb?
McIngernhale.
Jared, you're not supposed to help him.
I know how to pronounce this. Fergus McEakingurna and oh crap.
Fergus Eigenhale.
Fergus McEakingurna. Yeah. There you go.
I said it right before.
Where did the second G come from?
McEaking
Right, who is he?
Gurnahale.
There's no second G coming.
Yeah, that's right. McEaking Gurnahale. Gurnahale.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
McEaker Gurnahale. There you go.
That's not how you say it.
That's definitely not how I say it, but I realized, I was adding an extra G in there somewhere.
It's McEakernhale.
Fergus is a G.
McEaker Gurnahale. McEaker Gurnahale.
Stop adding the second G.
No, there's a G in there.
There's only one.
Gurnahale.
Yes.
Read it slowly. McEaker Gurnahale. That's exactly what I just said.
Yes, McEakergenhale.
No, McEaker Gurnahale. With the CH. Gurnahale.
That's what is that?
That's not what you. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
All right. He is 13 and he is a small child with godlike psychic powers.
Yep.
Yep.
He's the anime character where you're like, he finds the master and he's like, the master's like, I've been training psychic powers for 40 years. And you're like, cool, I'm going to take 5 episodes and be better than you.
I absorbed a sentient AI psychic robot.
Yep.
Exactly. Who'd been around for thousands of years and somehow lost to a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
He lost to a 12-year-old and Evelyn and Till.
Yeah, it was the 3 of us. I would have died. I'm pretty sure I would have died without them. If I'm remembering that scene.
Yeah,
correctly.
you would have had your brain melted.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he has telekinesis, telepathy, and healing and shapeshifting.
Yeah, so biokinesis, right? Or something like that.
Biokinesis, telekinesis.
Biopsionics, telekinesis, and telepathy.
There you go.
And I think either one of the powers got duplicated or one of them changed to a different one because I have metamorphed twice.
I think you might be able to do multiple things with metamorph. We should read what that does. And see
Yeah,
what
they're both the exact same black text. But yeah, we can do that.
We'll look at it. And then who's Dylan?
She is a 17-year-old caffeine addict.
That's right.
That
Every time I ask Carly what Dylan is doing in the campaign, she's like, well, I'm making another iced coffee.
Yep. But she I think it said the kind of game she did was like adventure type games, so like kind of combat mixed with like
it's like Zelda basically, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of. I've never played that, but I think so.
Zelda mixed with World of Warcraft, I think was the idea.
Probably, yeah.
It sounds like a good game.
And she kind of had from like the first and second episode has had a crisis over, I've killed people and if I kill people, I need to make sure it's for the right reasons, kind of a thing.
Yeah, we've all had kind of.
I don't think Dylan has actually killed anyone yet. She stabbed a dude and he was gonna die, and then
Connor shot
Evelyn shot him before anyone could help.
Yes.
Yeah. And Ode had similar thing. I think I actually killed somebody in defense of Dylan. Didn't feel that bad about it. I don't remember though how I actually felt about it. I knew he felt it was justified, but that doesn't always help. Yeah. You reminded me of a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. And Dylan, I don't remember exactly what her psychic powers are. She can like
imprint messages,
touch things and leave and receive messages in things, right?
Yeah, you can basically like implant psychic messages somewhere in various objects and locations. Yeah. Which, may turn into something bigger later. Right? Yeah. But yeah. And then Till Aderin, who was played by Josh, but will now be played by me, is the gruff uncle of Dylan. His sister was Dylan's mom. And he's the pilot of the Void's Grace, which is the spaceship y'all fly on. He was a space trucker in another life. And then his his truck, his space truck thing got totaled or something bad happened, and he had to trash it, and then he didn't have enough money to buy another one, and he happened to be on SWA, I think, after the Imperium had taken over, and at least caught up with Dylan, and then somehow met up with the rest of you guys, and then because were all pro gamers, you all had a lot of money, and so you pitched in together and bought a spaceship, which you have debt on still, so you didn't actually buy it, but you put a down payment on a spaceship, and have been space adventurers ever since, to Till's great chagrin. So Till's also obsessed with opera, so that's a thing. And so let's give a recap, shall we? Piece by piece here. So episode 1. You are in the Cosmos belt in Silas, the asteroid belt in Silas, the Silas system. And you came across some pirates. And Till doesn't like pirates, so he's like, we gotta go save this ship that's being harassed by pirates. The ship was a pharmaceutical service under the Castor Pharmaceuticals company, corporation, based off Midas. And you showed up, got on the ship. I think first you got in contact with the pirate fleet that was floating around the ship, waiting for people to steal stuff and get back onto the fighters or whatever. And you bluffed and basically said hey, we have 1,000 weapons pointing at your ship. Look on your scanners, and then faked something there and got the pirate fleet to run away with some of their members still on the Castor Pharmaceutical Service ship. So you had to go on the ship. Find the crew, fight the pirates. There were some moral crises that happened there where Dylan stabbed a dude and didn't know what to do about it. And then there were some hostages involved on the other side of the ship. And so you, Ode and Dylan, climbed through some Jeffries tubes, on the side of the ship, which happened to be near/where some radiation that was psychic was stored. You only learned about exactly what happened there later. And they got psychic powers. Ode got his.
And then someone shot me in the chest.
Yep. And then you kick some pirate butt. One of the crew members died. There was definitely a stressful situation where Ode almost died. And then Fergus and Till teamed up to basically airlock the pirates out of the spaceship.
I remember in that scene being I don't think that I'm in a place I play video games. I don't think I take cover. And so I stood out in the middle of nowhere and then just got lit up. Just got absolutely roasted. I was like, oh,
yep.
Well, not gonna make that mistake again. In and out of character.
And then you had some pirates that were, and this is episode 1 and 2. You had some pirates that were still hostages of yours, and you're arguing about what to do about them. Evelyn and Fergus, obviously being the sociopaths that they are, were like, yeah, let's just kill them,
Same.
right? Like, and Till was like, I mean, they are pirates, like they deserve to die. And then Chloe Lasmos was like, no, don't kill them. We should save them. Let them live. That don't be evil.
Except she was evil.
Well, so I had to figure out why exactly that all went down there and what was going on there, and I did figure it out. But she had some character change things happen from that time you saw her to the next time you saw her.
You know what? Oh, she had some character changes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. In my head, I was like, oh, I wonder why this happened. I was like, you know what I bet happened? I bet she was just playing it all up so that she could pretend to like be good, and also she wanted to use those pirates as experiments.
That's not true. That is actually
That's
not what
I
happened.
thought.
No,
that's so sad.
Obviously, you guys don't know that, but like in canon, I think, and you could probably be able to figure this out with evidence from if you watched the show a billion times and kept looking at all the scenes and analyzing them. Would be, she did believe that in that moment, and then some things happened to change her by the time, because her face was very different when she met up with Dylan and Ode later in the series.
Her face.
Yeah, like just her demeanor, right? Like the way she went about everything. So that all happened. Ode and Dylan. Well, Dylan took the side of like we shouldn't kill them, and then Ode instinctually went on her side, even though Evelyn and Fergus are psychics, and that's kind of makes them like holy people in his religion. And there was like a tense moment there. Nothing happened because the pirates are coming back, and Till was like, "Let's go, guys."
That's the thing I should have mentioned. My character worships psychics.
You don't worship psychics. You consider them like holy people who can interpret scripture and judge people. Yeah.
Did Dylan mention that she became a Christian?
That's another thing. What?
Did Dylan mention that she became a Christian?
Throughout the process, she did. You're muted again, Carly, but yeah, that's something that's been happening. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was just saying that by the end of the season, she was reading a Bible at least.
Yeah. So after that, you guys had a nice trip to New Kazern to drop off your new medical buddies. And
our new medical buddies. They
were headed there originally to cure some sort of disease or something. There was like a plague going around, and some people called them to come help. You didn't never really learn anything more about that. And Ode had some bloodshot that he stole from the ship, and he flashed it in front of the Castro people, and the Castro person was like, I didn't know about that. Does Chloe know about that? And then was just like, I mean,
not mine.
Yeah. But yeah, she didn't take it from me or whatever. And Chloe and Till had some great conversations about opera on the long space voyage. And you
probably got hit on by that one guy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And Ode got mad. One of the pharmaceutical guys.
Yeah.
And Ode was like, yeah, but she's mine.
And then Dylan roasted his entire existence by failing a persuasion roll to let him down easy.
Yep. Yeah. And it burned his soul.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
David's exact words.
Yep. So that happened. You made it to New Kazern and spent some time there. Evelyn decided that she wanted to learn about love, and so was watching a bunch of old romance movies.
So a couple other people wanted to learn about love too.
Yep. Ode asked Dylan on a date. They went on a date. Bad things happened because Ode got drunk. He failed his Spoogle Maps situation. Well, actually, before that all happened, he went to a alien tourist shop. It wasn't aliens running the tourist thing, but it was tourists for alien ruins, or a tourism service for alien ruins. And there was a whole thing there where like he everything was overpriced, and he was trying to, and he stole something, and then Till like said you have to go bring it back, and whole big thing there. And then Ode and Dylan went on a date. Ode got drunk. The taxi. Evelyn the entire time was spying on the date, and then accidentally piped it into the ship, so that Till knew what was happening. Ode tried to pay a taxi cab guy to take them to an obscure alien ruin in the middle of nowhere. Instead, the guy was like, I'm going to take you guys home because you're obviously drunk. Because he's the nicest taxi cab driver ever, apparently. And that happened. Then after that, Evelyn and Till got a new job. It was working for a guy named Peter Botten to go sell a prototype TL5 technology thing to the Imperium. And you guys, took the Hephaestus engine to...
When did Peter Botten die?
when we ended that whole mission, I basically said, well, he never got his money, so he couldn't pay off his debts, and so people came to like debt collect, and he fought and died in that battle. Yeah.
And you mentioned that in canon, or
no? Yeah, there was like a scene at the end of the one of the sessions where I like described it happening. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep. Obviously, we know
what I look forward to.
So spoiler, because they already failed the mission, you know. But yeah, so they went from there. They went to Vitskoye 0103 to Bratislav, a moon off of the planet Gunvey. And Bratislav is the worst. Have the strictest gun control laws ever, and pretty much any other law. You can't get tattoos there if you're a minor, I guess. Whole big thing.
That's right.
Yeah. A bunch of stuff happened there, including Till getting sick because Josh was away and wasn't at the session. And so we had him get sick from Fergus's stuffed mushrooms that he tried to make for him.
That's right.
And was like vomiting the whole time. And so Fergus did the negotiations with the scientists you were supposed to meet up and sell the Hephaestus engine to. Meanwhile, Ode wanted to go get a gun. No, he wanted to go get a tattoo. That was the whole thing originally. But he bought a gun because he couldn't. He couldn't bring a gun on through the planet. So he tried to go find someone who would sell him a gun. He found a historic memorabilia shop that the whole time he thought was like a cover for selling real guns, and then he bought one, and it was actually just a historic replica that was like filled in and wasn't a real gun. And Dylan came with him, and so that happened. And then they met Akoto Ishido, and Akoto, who the next session ended up being played by Emily Valdez as a guest star, but was originally played by me. Was being held up by some muggers, and Odin came to her rescue. And Dylan did too, I guess, but I think Odin did most of the fighting there. And then Akoto was like, "Oh, thanks for helping me. I know where you can get a tattoo," and then brought them to a White Sun Brotherhood tattoo parlor, which was actually, a secret White Sun Brotherhood.
Maybe a membership attached. But,
yeah. And so they were getting tattoos there. And meanwhile, Fergus had tried to I'm trying to remember. What was he actually trying to do? He was
trying to sneak in all of the
right, but where was he going
from the planet? We were there to
because I don't think
we were there for anything on that planet.
No,
I think we were
the meeting was going to happen later. But
Fergus so he just grabbed all of that stuff.
Right. But Fergus tried to like sneak stuff in. But I'm trying to even remember where he was going or what he was going to try to do.
I think we all were just getting to the planet to have the meeting, but we didn't want to have the meeting without Till being present. So we were just.
I know, but like I'm just curious. I guess it doesn't matter. But Fergus went to do something on planet and tried to sneak stuff in, got caught. Oh, before this, by the way, Fergus had spent the entire space voyage looking on the dark web, which is called JHN, based off of the black hole that's in the system. And on JHN, he found a whole bunch of stuff out about the Hephaestus engine, basically what kind of thing it could do, that like it could basically power something, like a Death Star if they wanted to, right? Like blow up a planet with it. Very, very powerful. Basically, completely sustainable, renewable energy that is like off the charts. And then, Fergus was doing stuff, got caught, talked his way out of it somehow. But by that point, Evelyn had found out about it and then hired some like expert hackers and stuff to like help break Fergus out. And so when Fergus got out, he was like, "Hey, you hired these people. Let's do some fun stuff." And he got them to buy you all like TL4 equipment and weapons that were basically stealth mode. So you could like conceal it and take it under a radar and no metal detectors or anything like that would like, go off when you try to conceal it. So that all happened. And then, in the process of being interrogated, Fergus revealed where the people who he worked for were, and that was the one tattoo parlor he knew about because of a conversation he'd had with Ode. And so he revealed that to the Imperium, and so the Imperium did a random raid on the tattoo parlor that Ode happened to be at. And so Ode and Dylan had to fight their way out. Ode actually killed a dude for the first time, didn't know how to feel about it, ran away with Akoto. They got on a grav cycle. At that point, Ode realized he wanted a grav cycle.
At that point, Dylan found out that she was the cellist type.
That's true.
Yep.
She really did not like Akoto.
Uh-huh.
No, you actually explicitly said that you weren't the jealous type and didn't feel jealous.
But she definitely acted like it.
Yes, which is
so even Carly didn't understand.
Not to be offensive with
Dylan's motivations there.
No, I was going to say she was perfectly playing a girl.
Yeah,
because she is a girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I didn't want to be super offensive to Carly.
Or, any other girl.
No, just to Carly. So yeah, then they went away on their hover cycle. Ode was like, "Hey, come back to our ship with us. That's a safe place we can go." And yeah,
Why do you say it like that?
You guys ended up there. Till did one of the. I was still playing Till at this point, so I just gave. He was sick, so I think I had him brush it off, but not really understand what you were asking when you said, "Oh, okay, Okona Koto, come with us."
Yeah, that's right. I did the whole I asked him while he was sleeping thing.
Yeah. And to negotiate for her passage, you had her finish Odin Dylan's tattoos. And so Ode has yeah, I know. Ode has a tattoo that says Banff. And
of course.
Yeah. And Dylan has a tattoo that's like a crescent moon.
Nice.
That's like the shattered moon from Ruby, because she left it unfinished on purpose.
Moons, right?
Yeah, this is Analys's moon, yeah.
That's cool.
You specifically didn't want yours to get fixed.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, Connor's listened to those episodes more recently than I have, so we can fill in some details here.
I also probably listened to it at 1 speed, which means I didn't miss stuff.
Fair. From there, we had the guest episode with Hakoto being played by Emily Valdez.
Which was a great session.
Yeah, which was awesome. Lots of fun talk. I mean, it was literally just an entire session where it was just a bunch of conversations. And the entire time, Hakoto was just trying to get you guys to join the White Sun Brotherhood and or sell them at the Hephaestus engine. Right. What ended up getting decided in the whole process was we don't want to make enemies of the Imperium, but we also don't want to give them what this is now that we realize what it is. The White Sun Brotherhood seem like nice people, so we'll set it up so the White Sun Brotherhood will come steal it, in air quotes, and then we'll complain to the Imperium and say, "Oh no, they stole the Hephaestus engine. What are we gonna do?
Such a dangerous job, guys. You suck."
Exactly, yeah. And basically, Hakoto ran away at that point. Afterwards, and just escaped. No one wanted to join the White Sun Brotherhood, apparently.
Then Jared tried to expose the White Sun Brotherhood and succeeded 7 times with really good program rolls. And Caleb was like, "You get nothing." And then you're like, "Fine, you get 10,000 credits. That's all."
Well, no, because I had stuff going in the background. Connor, what you don't actually, I'm remembering now, if that's the stuff you're talking about, there was literally faction stuff happening in the background that I knew would impede what Fergus was trying to do. So it wasn't me trying to negate what his things were. It was literally just me being like, Fergus thinks he would probably think he would get all this, and then he realizes that's not the case. But he still gets the max he would be able to get from the situation.
Know.
I knew what I was doing there. I remember.
I don't know.
So after that all happened, and you guys had gotten paid by the White Sun Brotherhood, and Fergus had stolen some money from the White Sun Brotherhood. Then you got impounded by the Imperium, who were basically like, "You suck at doing your job. So until we figure out what happened here, you're stuck here, and we're impounding all your ships." Or you're pounding this ship and all the other ships. And then the next episode, first, Ode went and bought a grav cycle, met a nice Korean lady who parents apparently work with the White Sun Brotherhood, and he now has a contact with her, and Ode basically told her everything they were doing on the planet and everything.
And then we spent half a session of Ode trying to buy the grav cycle and kept getting manipulated into buying more and more add-ons and extras. I kid you not, it was at least an hour of just Ode haggling with a car salesman. It was so awful. I almost wanted to fast forward.
I remember this now. Yeah, I spent a lot of time whenever anyone would try to buy something Till bought a drone before this back on New Kazhern, and I spent another hour there of the guy trying to talk him into a bunch of, and I would just read off the description from the book of and he's trying to excel you on this stuff. So that was fun for me, at least.
I hated every second of it, both times.
Yep. And then, so that happened. Ode got his cool hover cycle or graph cycle with like a bunch of cool add-ons and like guns on it and stuff.
Yeah, that lasted like 2 sessions.
It did. It literally lasted 2 sessions.
There's another way of Caleb trying to stifle our victories. You spent an hour
that was
buying that
not my
cycle.
fault. That was very much Dylan's fault. So then, of course, Fergus does a hacking roll, and as he always does, and gets them unimpounded. I think basically what happened is like he unimpounded some other drug runner ships, and so they were trying to escape at the same time. And it was, because the Void's Grace had no official criminal record, they didn't immediately go after the Void's Grace and instead went after the drug runner ships. And by the time that they figured out, the Void's Grace also shouldn't have been unimpounded, you were already gone. And then we
also did some really good talk rolls since you're did too, I think.
Yes. And then we had a scene about at the end there where the guy who was like in charge of stuff on Bratislav, the Imperium guy, got like got fired, and then it was revealed that like the master of war of the Imperium like was getting someone else to come go after you guys and figure out what your where the Festus Ascension went. And it was like some Arabian guy named Rashid Al-Sad rather. And you guys left Vitskoy, went back to Silis. In the meantime, you got a job on Zanlis.
On Zanlis.
Yeah. Basically Dylan's dad was like sending out a distress signal like, hey, there's a giant monster that's attacking our dome. We need someone to kill it. And you guys went back there. During this voyage, Dylan was reading the Bible a lot. So that was happening. She was like, what's going on here? Repent and believe. What? And then
it was mostly
conviction.
It was mostly the
don't murder.
Don't murder.
Yeah. Yep.
Things that she was hanging on.
Yeah.
And she got very close to murdering.
Yep.
Even though Evelyn was the one that finished him off, but
yeah. So you guys made it to Zanlis, got there, had a very tense encounter with Dylan's dad, whose name is, if I can remember, Gregor Calorie.
I almost shot him, and
yes,
Dylan got really mad at me. Oh, I shouldn't say I almost shot him. I stepped to him when he threatened Till or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or insulted.
There's a tense moment
and
there
then
for sure. Yeah.
Dylan was like, how dare you protect me? That's my dad.
Yep. Complicated feelings there. And then basically,
have you ever heard stories about that when somebody goes to pull an abusive husband off of a woman and then she literally just beats the crap out of the person?
Oh yeah.
That,
oh
no.
What
are you doing?
No. Once again, Carly
totally
played
normal.
Dylan extremely well.
Yeah.
This was Carly's first time role playing, and she 10 out of 10's Dylan. Every single time, it's I can't even notice that this is her first campaign. She's just just role played flawlessly.
Yeah, Dylan's great. So then, you guys had a tense encounter with Gregor, and we're basically like, yeah, we'll do your job. And he's like, well, fine, you got to do it. But he was very mad about Dylan being dragged along on this whole thing, and all that stuff happened there. And then Dylan was very emotional and mad, and was like, hey, can I drive your grav cycle? Because I need to burn some feelings out. And Dylan crashed, failed her.
Way weirder than it did.
Yeah, I know it's not how she did it at all, but. Then Dylan failed her pilot check and crashed right into the gate that you guys knew was broken. That was starting to get jammed and would be a security hazard. And during that session, Evelyn had a whole thing where she had precogged a whole thing of having the right tools to fix that gate because she knew it was going to be a problem, and then went up to the gal who was in charge of the gate, told her about it.
Dylan's
stepmom. Yep.
And I was like, hey, you should fix the gate.
And she was like, no,
everybody's going to die.
You're insulting us. You don't know how to fix our own gate. And then Evelyn's like, fine, okay. And then she never told anyone else about it.
And then they all died because she was too stubborn to fix her own gate.
Exactly.
And I never brought it up. I'm so surprised that I never rubbed it in their faces. Yep. I told her to fix the gate.
Yep. It doesn't seem like a very Evelyn thing to do though. So
yeah, I guess not.
So yeah, we ended the session with Dylan crashing the grav cycle into the gate. And basically,
Murder-beast coming over the ship, right?
Say it again.
And I'm pretty sure that session also ended with the murder beast coming up over the ship.
No, we just ended with the crash because we dealt with the whole crash sequence at the beginning of the next episode and like the aftermath of it, and then I revealed that the murder beast had come. But
this was also the live session, and it was it might be the best session we've ever done for RPG.
It was pretty good.
It was a lot of fun. Too bad the audio is ruined on it, but
yeah, that part sucked.
Yeah. But yeah,
we were all great, but Caleb's job. No, just kidding.
I blame Josh too. He was the one helping me.
That's true. He did try to help.
Yeah.
Bless his soul.
Yeah.
Was that Connor was eating corn?
Yeah, you had a whole
live in person?
Yeah, you had a whole corn on the cob that you were literally eating on the
Yes. I didn't watch the video, but I listened to it and I didn't notice it at all. And that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I think you were trying to eat it.
That for
I think
us.
you were trying to eat it on a break and then you didn't finish it by the time you went live again. So you're just like, I'm still eating it.
I love that for us.
Yeah. So we started the next episode dealing with the aftermath of the grav cycle crashing. Fergus had to use his telekinesis to like stop them from dying. Dylan still had the grav cycle like on her and like crushed her leg slightly. Ode was mostly safe because of Fergus's telekinesis. And once you got all that figured out, then that's of course when the murder beast arrived, because you guys had made so much noise in this whole process that it had changed the future that Evelyn had foreseen when she saw that the beast was going to come.
Which was real annoying.
Which was really annoying, but totally makes sense because the future can't be fixed, because that's not how the future works in this game. So yeah, that happened, and then you guys all had to fight the murder beast. But what happened was the murder beast showed up and then like crushed the spaceship at first, like threw it stood and like stood on it and like trashed it, and then Till like hit his head on the like cockpit dashboard or whatever and like was out through the whole fight. So because Josh wasn't there again. And we had the whole fight sequence where you guys fought the Zanless murder beast, which is pretty epic. And then you killed it and saved Till, but then the Zanless murder beast split open and 9 more little ones came out and went into the city. We started the next session. You guys fought all them. A bunch of people died in Evangelia. A bunch of people died in Evangelia, including Ziva's adopted family.
All right, that's rough. Forgot about that.
And they died, and she was better off for it.
You finally killed all the the murder beasts. And then there was
Gregory came and punched him in the face.
Well, first what happened was Evelyn had hacked
control over 15 drones
from Evangelia, old drones, and you had brought them to help. They were sitting there in standby or whatever. You guys were having this confrontation with Gregor Callery, and he punched Till in the face because he's like, "You did this! Look, you caused all this! If you whatever." And then Evelyn was like,
"Let him have it."
Yeah, and then Till had him have it. There's a whole like big coup situation that was going to happen where like he was like, "You should stand down," but then Evelyn realized that she had like lost control of the drones, and it was a really tense moment there where like everyone thought that they were going to just start killing people. You guys managed to stop them though, because someone had just like hacked into the drones,
which was the AI in the mountain.
Yeah, which you realized
in the center of the dome.
Yeah, the actual dome itself, like regaining control of their drones. During this process, the only reason that Evelyn noticed narratively was because Ziva was like came up to her and was crying.
I came up to Ziva and gave her a hug.
Oh yeah, Ziva was crying because she didn't know what to do. You had told her to like help someone, and then she couldn't really.
No. She was crying because everybody was dead, and Dylan was too mad at Gregory and at Till and us for everything that happened that she was like not all in it. And so I walked over and hugged Ziva and rolled perform and succeeded so that Dylan would notice and then remember that she loves these people and that just like to not be mad anymore. And also so that she would side with us and not hate us. Because Till was quite literally telling Gregory to stand down, and that Gregory had like cheated on his wife, cheated on Dylan's mom before she died, and all this stuff. So I was using Ziva as a pawn in order to get my friend Dylan to act more like herself.
And instead, Ziva noticed your little compad and was like, "Why is it beeping?" And you're like, "Holy crap, the drones!"
Yeah, so we disabled the drones. And Gregory still stood down.
Yep.
And different elders of the town took over instead.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked up to Ziva afterwards and was like,
"Do you want a family?"
Oh, yeah. And do you want a family? Because I was like, oh man, I don't like care about people, and I should. That's really weird. I don't know why I don't care about people. So I like hugged her and was like, you can come with us. We'll be your family.
I remember being really salty that was when your character decided to have a heart, because like that was the most dangerous place this child could possibly be, was with us. I spent like the whole session feeling like this is wrong. I don't have the stats to convince you, but this is a bad idea.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great
in all reality, Evelyn just really wanted another pawn. No, that's not true.
But yeah,
that's all that happened in that session.
Yeah, and that's where you left off, I think, right? With your rewatch. And then we had all the rest of the stuff that happened in Evangelia, where Evelyn, Fergus, and Till were like, "Ooh, okay, the dome's back online. This could be dangerous for the dome. We're not going to leave here unless we make sure that everybody's safe." And started their journey to the center of the dome. And we're interacting with this AI through compads, through terminals and stuff. Meanwhile, Ode and Dylan were getting Ziva, settled in everything, and then Dylan took off to go. I think she like leaving a compad with like something for her dad or something like that. And then was biking back, and meanwhile Ode was like teaching Ziva how to fight and shoot stuff, right? And
Ziva critted
Ziva, yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm, yep. But then Ziva noticed, ooh, wait, there's something. What's going on here? There's a ship that landed, and there's people coming. Ode, and it was the Imperium soldiers who were showing up to attack you guys.
Oh wow! And I forgot about that.
Yeah, Ode and Ziva are alone on the Void's Grace. Dylan is off in Evangelia. Evelyn, Fergus, and Till are in the dome. And then we do the next episode where Ode like sets
about my 1v20.
Yeah, Ode sets up like a series of like traps.
I home aloned it,
Yeah, he literally home aloned it in the spaceship with Imperium soldiers. Yep. Had Ziva hide in like some crawl space, and a whole big fight there. Some more soldiers were going into the dome. Dylan fought them there. Basically died. Was like 1 second away from death.
Hid in one of the like tunnel or compartments or whatever, and
yeah. And she got captured, and then Ode traded himself for her, and was being like led into the spaceship. And meanwhile, Evelyn and Fergus and Till were doing all the stuff in the middle of the dome, getting to know that, oh, there's an AI in here and it's talking to us, and oh, it wants to expunge the dome of anyone who's not a psychic. That's bad. And then they've realized. Then they realized, oh, it's not just an AI, it's a person who's been basically acting as an AI for like 1,000 years. They're a mega psychic. And Fergus basically set up a whole thing to split its personality so that its like destructive side would be destroyed, and then copy then copy the good personality. So one part of it would go in his brain, and one part of it would stay in the dome. And you guys succeeded somehow with that impossible task. That was an epic moment. Honestly, I think my favorite moment in all of Elysian Road season 1 was that whole tense scene there. It's the one I see most clearly in my mind, I think. Is that whole sequence. And then Fergus was like, hey,
I think that was the episode I fell asleep.
I don't think so.
Straight up. I think that's the episode.
It's not. Then Fergus was like, we got to go help everybody, and flew back and was like, oh, Dylan's about to die. I'll heal you. And he did. And then Fergus saw that Ode was being put into a spaceship and it was lifting off, and Fergus climbed the side of it while it was lifting off, broke inside of it, shot people with his, finger guns. And then saved Ode. And then Fergus pretended to be the captain of the ship or the admiral or commander or whoever it was that was in charge of the mission.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Sent a message back to the ISS Apocalypse, which was in orbit. And it was like, nothing to see here. We're just having a slight technical malfunction. We'll be up shortly. It'll be about half an hour.
Here.
Yeah.
Now, how are you?
How are you? Yeah, exactly. Right. And then you guys got Evangelia to completely fix your ship by using nanobots or whatever. Which Evelyn the whole time which Evelyn the whole time was like, I want nanobots to be a thing. Give me nanobots. And then at the very end I was like, yes, she does have nanobots and she uses them.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. Do I have those nanobots still?
No, of course not. She doesn't give them to you. But you got the Void's Grace fixed up. And then from there you took off and went to Midas to have a shopping trip.
Yay.
Because also Ode was like, why do I have psychic abilities? I need to figure this out, and had gotten in contact with a person who does MES testing. And
I don't think I bought a single thing on that planet because I have 68,000 credits.
You did not, yeah. Ode and Dylan went on a shopping expedition. They bought Ziva a lot of stuff.
That's right.
And then they went to go see the MES specialist, and the MES specialist was like, yeah, you're probably fine. And then he looked at the thing and was like, oh, okay, I think this is broken. Either that or you're a super mutant. And then he tested it on Dylan and he's like, okay, well, apparently she's a super mutant. And then he tested on Ziva and was like, well, she's normal. Okay, you guys are definitely super mutants. This isn't broken. And that's the point where the Ode tried to activate his ability, went into post-cognition, and then had a stroke. And that's when the Castro pharmaceutical people showed up to capture you guys. Meanwhile, Evelyn had gotten a ping about a certain string of numbers or a name or whatever that had shown up in the databases. And she's like, holy crap, my backstory. I gotta go find this person. And then went and was like, okay, I'm going to go hire a bunch of revolutionaries to come with me to go. I'm just going to break away from everyone and just go do my own thing now. And Fergus
I hired the Fiascos.
Yeah. And Fergus was like, I'm going to come with because why not? And he shapeshifted and pretended to be one of the revolutionaries. And then when
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then when Evelyn was like trying to figure out what she was going to exactly do, Fergus was like, hey, it's me the whole time. I've been here. And hey, you got these people on your side. You know what we should do? We should steal one of their capital ships. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. And then he did.
And then you guys did. And throughout that whole process, Ode, Dylan, and Ziva had been captured. Dylan broke out, saved Ode. They were like, where's Ziva? Till was like, where is anyone? Help. And then found Evelyn and Fergus, and then Ode and Dylan got in contact with everybody. And by the end of the session, you guys had gone to the Castro pharmaceutical place, saved Ziva, bankrupt Castro pharmaceuticals because you turned off all their power, and all their experiments just broke. And then ended up on the Void's Grace inside the capital ship, which Fergus and Evelyn had just stolen. And then
Till made this dramatic moment of, we're family,
we're
Evelyn.
Family. We need
you
to
don't just
together.
run away.
Exactly.
We'll come with you. And I was like, you'll help me save my backstory? And then I cried for the second time on screen.
Yep. The last thing that happened there too was Fergus went inside Ode's mind and figured out for him what was going on with his psychic stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And Ode he saw a vision of the past and saw that, little nanoparticles went inside you, Ode and Dylan, and gave you psychic abilities. Oh, wait a second. Are psychic powers just nanobots? What is up with that? And that was that was the revelation you guys ended on. You didn't really know what that meant, but
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Fergus was oh no, it was Evangelia, who was in your brain. Fergus was like, oh yeah, I know what this is. This is where all psychic abilities come from. And Fergus was like, what?
Who the heck is Evangelia?
The psychic AI person.
So he split it and kept half?
And yes, and basically had a copy, like a shadow of her in his mind.
Okay, so he split the information, split the two personalities, killed the destroy side, and copied the good side and kept the good side in him. Okay, all right, I was confused. I thought he kept the destroy side, and I was like, oh no, I'm afraid.
I mean, really, you should be afraid either way, but yeah.
And that's why, like, I'm already afraid of Fergus. Yeah. So that would have, yeah.
And that's season 1 of Elysian Road.
Okay. So I'd like to suggest us starting season 2 with not the main characters.
How so?
I'd like to suggest that we start off the season 2 with our side story characters, with Garrett, Lucy, Ada, Jenkins, and Kiana.
That is a cool idea, and I would honestly, I would be fine with going back to them at some point and like being intentional about playing them as well as a thing that's going on. But it's not going to be the thing that starts.
Caleb, that's where we're going right now.
Yes, but you don't get there, and you don't get there yet before the beginning happens.
Oh, okay.
I have something that's going to happen.
Isn't that what a prologue is? It's setting up something that's going to be important for the bulk of the story, but not the beginning of the story.
Yes, no, I agree. But I know. I'm glad you brought that up though, Connor, because I think it would be fun to do another side story with them and do another session and like figure out what they're doing.
Side story.
Oh yeah, that's true. That we did do a side story.
Okay.
And
I just remember assassinating everybody, and you were like the most generous human being ever on what counted as waiting for a minute to assassinate somebody. So I just instantly killed everybody, and I'm like, this is awesome. There's no way he's gonna let me do this in the real campaign.
The main thing that happened there is you guys did a job. You were Order of the Dust people. You stole a relic from a church, basically, and gave it to a mysterious employer who has not been named. We know it's not the Imperium because the Imperium
asked about it.
Yeah, the Imperium was like trying to stop what was happening because you at one point Garrett got in touch with like a ex Order of the Dust demolitionist to help you with you guys. You didn't end up using him, and then but he was like, "Ooh, I have a contact with the Imperium. They want to know about this," and then blew up the tower anyway, which caused all sorts of problems. But yes, so you stole a relic, and there's stuff going on there. Yeah. But yeah, those characters are important, and it would be fun to do another side story with them. But the beginning of the game does not start with them.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
okay. So for some reason, I in the back of my head, I totally expected this, but I'm so like I thought there was so much to cover in this next season by just those people that I didn't think we were going to add something to it, and I'm afraid about what this thing is going to be now.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, because that's where I'm going right now. Like, we're leading the capital ship to that.
Yes.
So,
but also by the time you get there, it's been so. I'll give you guys the timeline briefly here. I actually wrote down. I figured out every day that passed throughout the whole thing. I made notes so we know exactly what date it is. It is February 9th, the day you steal the fleet cruiser. So, and you started on January 1st.
Okay.
The mission to steal the stuff, the Order of the Dust mission, happened on January 10th. So it's literally been a month since that happened, which means the Order of the Dust people are in a completely different place. Who knows what they're even doing? So we need to find out from your guys' perspective, like the lead you find to go find out where they went before we'll cut back.
Okay.
Right.
I thought I had the coordinates.
You had the coordinates of the ping that happened, which happened on the planet that they were on.
Okay. All right. I understand what's going on.
Right? I'm pretty sure that's where that was.
It wasn't on the planet where we blew up the hotel or the church or whatever. It wasn't that planet.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right, actually.
Because it was on the Order of the Dust planet.
You're right, because that was at the very end of the session, and then you had like an aneurysm or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
He saw a picture of a young girl. I literally never revealed who he saw.
Yeah, I have a whole. Well, now we know, Connor, because you just pretty sure everyone knows exactly what's happening now.
Okay, who is it? Who is it then, guys? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what
I'm
I
honestly
didn't hear the
surprised.
question. What?
Well, that's
I zoned
fine.
out.
What'd you say, Colin?
See,
What
I
was the
thought.
question?
I said I zoned out.
Well, there you go. I guess.
Aha.
good luck, Connor. Or
My secret's
lucky.
safe with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I succeeded that luck save.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The ping would have happened on Kos. So I guess, yeah, I had this whole thing planned where you guys were going to go to divides and like have to track down the lead. But no, you're right. Like it literally happened at the end of the session. So the ping would have happened on Kos, which means it takes longer to get there, which is fine.
Did I just ruin like the entrance of the entire campaign?
No.
By listening to the campaign and knowing it better than you?
The actual beginning I have planned doesn't even take place on divides. That was the second part that yeah. But I that was still fuzzy in my mind as like specifically what's going to happen there. I just knew like the basics. But that's totally fine. That actually, honestly, I like that better.
Okay.
So yes.
Cool.
It's also going to be a whole thing. I mean, really, you guys have to kind of think about this. Going into Order of the Dust space with a capital ship is a horrible idea.
Disagree.
Absolutely horrible. So I would also just like to point out.
To fight us, we'll just nuke
I would
them
just
with
like to
our
point
capital
out
ship.
in the faction turn, the Order of the Dust's goal right now is to destroy a powerful asset, which is specifically a capital ship. That's their goal right now as a faction, is to do some sort of cool thing like that.
Well, it's a good thing player knowledge and character knowledge are two separate things.
I'm just saying, if you show up in Order of the Dust space with a capital ship, they will literally just blow it up. That's what they will do. They'll attack it on sight.
Yeah, we should probably sell it before we do that.
Why would we sell? We're teenage kids and we have a giant spaceship. Why would we sell it? There's no reality where that happens.
So let's talk about this briefly.
Evelyn
then.
definitely would.
Let's talk about this briefly then. So now that we have like the recap and all that stuff, what actually is the plan there? Because now that we have a pretty firmer idea here. If your plan was to go after the ping, how much of this would you explain, Evelyn, to everyone? Like, I assume you say we're going to Kos.
Yeah. Okay. So
and then Fergus immediately would be like, "We're gonna die if we go there."
So, yeah. Do we like start with a scene then where we like have that conversation and then skip time?
No, I think we should figure it out now.
So okay. So we'll just decide what our characters said.
Yeah. Because
So here's.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, okay. So here's what I think we should do.
Mm-hmm.
I think I tell you where we're going, and I say we're going to rescue an old friend of mine, and that's probably all I say. Or maybe even not rescue, find an old friend of mine that I thought was dead, and she probably references like Till. This was the person I asked you to look up before, and I put a couple of like criminals in there with them so that I would disguise it, but that's really who I was trying to have you look up, and his name is Vigo. And yeah, and then I would assume I'd tell you the star system, and then Fergus would be like, if we go there, they're going to try to destroy our capital ship, and then Evelyn would 100% be like, we should sell this ship and get a smaller, more stealthy and portable one that can
Evelyn, if you find a way to sell this capital ship, you can just pay off the Void's Grace, right?
Well, yes and no, because
maybe.
no, I think that's what I'm saying is we should sell the ship and get a new ship.
Sell the Void's Grace too?
Yeah.
But the Void's Grace.
Kill's going to be very excited to hear that.
Well,
it's nostalgia,
I think
though,
he'll be extremely excited.
No. What you should do is you should sell the capital ship, buy the pay off the Void's Grace, and then upgrade the crap out of the Void's Grace.
But I mean, with the amount of money we would get from selling, I mean, I don't even know how we would do that, but from the amount of money we would have from selling,
just take all the guns from the capital ship and put it on the Void's Grace.
You can honestly just buy a fleet of smaller ships, probably. I mean, I imagine
it really depends on if you
lot
can
of
find a
money.
way to sell the capital ship, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Is who we have to find someone who's willing to buy a capital ship and also has the money to do that. So that's also a thing.
You could go to Kos and say, we'll sell you this capital ship.
Like that's the whole thing. You like send a message in advance and be like, we're coming with a capital ship that we want to sell you.
I love that idea.
That's a good idea.
I love that idea because I don't want to just like hand wave the selling because I know Caleb's going to screw us over and make everybody die and make us lose all of our money. But yeah,
Connor, you do realize that doing it off screen would actually give you the best chance of actually getting something out of it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Fergus is pretty good at talking.
I know. Okay, I mean, that's honestly a good...
Caleb, but Jared, when you make good rolls, he has stuff going on in the background that makes it irrelevant.
Listen, I have to challenge you guys in some way. Otherwise, Fergus can literally hack the planet every day for all time.
I forgot. Yeah, hack the planet.
I'm just going to give you crap the rest of the time now, Caleb.
Great.
Because I listened back to those episodes and was just like... Well, there was something else too that I noticed. I can't remember what it was, but there was something I was just listening to today that I was like, why? I think it was it was the episode where we're like having that showdown with Gregory or whatever, and that's what it was. No, it was in the side story. I had Garrett, or I had Kiara make a roll to try to calm Garrett down as like a role play thing to like measure how well that he like talks her down basically. And she failed the roll. And I was like, but what he said, like, made sense to me. Then I was like, okay, he calms down. And you were like, well, okay, she failed a roll, so therefore in the future then you're going to snap. And I was just like, what? Why? And you were like, because she failed a roll. You shouldn't have asked her to roll. And I was like, it was a role play mechanic. And you were like, too bad. And I was like, what?
I mean, Connor, to be fair, that's how role playing games work. Like if you make a roll,
I don't think so.
I mean, that's how Apocalypse World works.
Yeah. I think that's why I have a like aversion to Apocalypse World.
Rolling in Apocalypse World is usually a bad idea.
Yeah.
Which is why it doesn't give you an option, I suppose. Just tells you, yes, you've done the trigger, now you have to roll. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yep. So just keep that in mind, everybody. Don't use any type of roll for role playing. And then that happened again today where Carly was like, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead and have them roll. And I'll decide what I'm going to do based off of that. And I was like, no. Maintain your independence. Don't rely on the roll to decide for you.
We'll have this conversation later. But yeah, I really like that idea being the opening state of the game where you're specifically going to go to Coast, and the excuse for going into Order of the Dust space is you're going to sell them the capital ship because they would 100% be interested in that.
What we're really going to do is steal whatever ship they send to buy it. Right?
Yeah.
Sure. Good luck.
I don't think so. I think that's no.
Like if we get enough ships, then it will not be an economically feasible thing to engage us and leave us alone.
That's possible.
Sure. Yeah, we'll see how that goes for you, dude.
Like I have a pretty ridiculous shoot skill. Okay, it'll be all right.
That's fair. So what looking at the map here, what route would you be taking to get to Kos? You can
Kos is the dust place, right?
Kos is the Order of the Dust.
This is space. There's no tree routes in space. Come on.
Probably the way that would be less likely to get us caught by the... Is it the Imperium?
Yep.
It's always the Imperium. It's always an Imperium.
Yeah.
It's.
I was concerned. Blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. I thought that was Nebula Jazz.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's. I think it was a Dominion in Nebula Jazz actually, which was just another name for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So let's see. I'm pretty sure you guys have with the capital ship a spike drive that can move 3 hexes in a jump. Let me find this. Yeah, so Fleet Cruiser is what you guys have, which is spike drive 3, which means where's the rules for this? Space travel. The transit time is 6 days per hex travel divided by the spike drill rating. So 2 days per hex and and you can move 3 hexes in one jump. So it moves
3 jumps. So somewhere there.
3 jumps and you're there.
Yep.
And so that means it takes 2 days per hex. What route are you actually taking, Connor? I'm curious.
We could go from 002 to 0303 first jump, and then from 0303 to 605, and then to 707. So from Silas to
Lucretia,
almost Halfdus to Lucretia to Kos.
Okay. And so that's 9 hexes, which means it takes 18 days to get there.
Fergus isn't a teenager yet then.
I mean, yes.
But he can look like a teenager.
But he can shapeshift himself to be
literally
one.
make himself as old, physically old as he wants.
Yeah, that's what I did. I literally did that in the first season.
Yep.
To make people take me more seriously.
This is the most absurd.
Yeah. I can appear.
What power is that?
Biokinesis?
Biopsionics, yeah.
Or psionics, whatever, yeah. Literally just
I remember him doing that. He hasn't done that yet in this in the series.
He's done it. I don't know if he's interacted with Evelyn while
No. I like 10 episodes in, he hasn't done that yet.
Oh yeah. It's happened like episode 13, I think.
Ability.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I would hope it would be.
Okay, cool. So 18 days and you reach Kos. So something there will be something that happens that I'm going to start with before you reach Kos. But yes, then the next thing would be showing up and trying to sell that thing. So that'll be fun.
Sweet. So now I have to give a recap. This is the meme recap.
The meme recap. Okay.
So one of the memes that you didn't mention is every time that somebody wants to go into Dylan and Evelyn's rooms, Dylan and Evelyn's room,
someone is at the door.
Makes it obnoxious stuff, and then every time somebody walks in, someone is inside the door. just as obnoxious as can be. Yep. You mentioned that every merchant one is a really good salesman and obnoxious, and apparently we're all weak-willed.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't continue to be a meme, and that's probably the reason that Evelyn hasn't bought a single thing in the entire campaign yet.
I mean, let's be real, Connor. You just said the starting state of the game is we're going to sell a ship, so I got to do it.
Hate everything.
That Order of the Dust guy is going to be so insistent.
Fergus cooks stuff and makes people sick. You mentioned that one. Ode never wears a shirt.
Yep.
And I can't remember the Dylan one. Yeah, Till's got his
coffee.
Opera thing. Oh yeah, Carly's got her iced coffee. Yep. Yeah, so there are some of the memes.
The memes.
Yeah, the memes.
I made a bunch of notes, so I'm going to scan through these quick and update you guys with anything I think would be important to remind you guys about. Let's see.
And also, this is going to be the first time I've ever played an RPG before where I remember the names of the organizations because I listened to the story.
Yeah.
First time ever, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, Clolasmos. I know who that is. Instead of being like, Lervinia.
Or Jared saying Limeade. Who's Limeade?
Oh, we're so dumb. We're so bad at role-playing games.
So Evercraze is the name of the adventure game that Dylan played.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
I think Dylan and Evelyn started becoming like close roommates towards the end of the series. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. Okay, that's good.
Spoogle exists. This you forgot the most important one, Connor. We put space in front of everything. And then jam it together.
I didn't think that needed to be mentioned. I figured we were just going to do that anyway.
It was so fun to listen to, where we start just saying space something, right, and then we mix it together, and then it's Spoogle. Yeah, so good. Triple Explosion is the FPS game that Ode plays. Triple Explosion is the FPS game that Ode plays. That's another thing there for you, David. Let's see. The Dark Web was called JHN. The White Sun Brotherhood got the Hephaestus engine, so who knows what's going to go on there. I'm gonna do 2 faction turns before we actually do session 1, and so we'll see what the factions have done with their stuff.
Birthdays. Yeah. Did we write down? I think
you did not. No, you did not, but you should. Yeah, you guys should.
Okay, what's the date?
What your birthday? It's February 9th. It's February 9th at the end of season 1. By the time season 2, February 9th is the most recent date. And then from there we'll advance the time. But if you want your birthday to happen soon, make it in February.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's homework. Everybody give your character a birthday. Let's see. Ode named his hover cycle Evercraze before it died. Because he's in love.
That's so
That was the weirdest time I've ever wolf whistled in my entire life.
Do you remember how that was left? Because I don't really.
The hover cycle?
No,
it's just gone.
His relationship with Dylan.
Still tentatively, you like each other. You've gone on dates before, but the DTR hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
there was and we had a semi-argument about the whole bike thing.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to that yet. I can't wait to listen to the goss.
Ode was basically I can't
trust you
if you're going to just if you're going to fly off the handle, it's going to kill me, basically, like that. When things go bad, right? And so he was worried that it was basically he wasn't going to have. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
basically,
that sounds right. Let us know more specifically when you get there.
What's that?
Let us know more specifically what that argument was when you get there.
Oh, sure.
Any other details?
Fergus. Oh crap! I had it. There's another meme.
Something about his psychic abilities. Something about
David. What David was saying that made me trigger it. Talking about defining the relationship, arguing about the hover cycle.
Fergus spies on people. I don't know. Can't think of it.
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Another fun thing. All Saints Church of God has a huge archive of almost all Christian material ever published. So that's fun. That's where Dylan found her a bajillion translations of the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Synonymous is the name of a hacking organization that's been causing havoc on the internet. Fergus knows about this.
I see.
You guys do not have an armory, but you do have a TL4 equipment locker. On the Void's Grace, at least. Honestly, capital ship, you can basically have anything at this point.
Yep.
I remember looking at that and we were like, "This armory is pointless, and we might as well just get the equipment."
Yeah, I think it was way too expensive. Let's see. Fergus downloaded the blueprints of the Hephaestus engine. He has those. Yep. You didn't give them to Evangelia, did you? Or did you?
Did you?
I think you might have.
I don't remember. I mean, she's in my brain, so.
Keep a note out for that, Connor. Let me know if you remember if Fergus actually gives her that.
Gives her what?
I want to say I did.
The blueprints for the Hephaestus engine.
If who?
The Evangelia, the dome god. If Fergus gave her the blueprints for the
did.
I think he did too, but we'll see for sure.
Sounds familiar.
The thing is, like, she didn't have.
Sounds
I
like
don't think
something you would
she.
do.
I don't think she had the resources at that moment to like
Yeah.
create it, but she would probably try to find them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. And we were looking out for materials to do that.
Oh, Fergus made fake identities for everyone that you guys are now going by. Ode is a hairstylist. Evelyn was a kindergarten teacher, and Ziva was her former student from Midas. Dylan was a technical bioengineer with several PhDs.
Oh, yikes.
Till is an opera prodigy, and is
Why did I get that one and not Evelyn?
Fergus was just being funny. I think
I'm whose kindergarten teacher?
Ziva's.
Yeah.
She's not in kindergarten.
I am the strictest kindergarten teacher on the planet.
You
How
were.
are we gonna make these? None of us can back up our.
I mean, honestly, Fergus probably could just make new ones at this point. Well, obviously you do because you're selling a capital ship, so he's probably gonna have to come up with something new. Also, though, in that fake identity situation he made up, Till was the adopted father of all of you.
Oh.
Just a band of orphans.
Fergus's JHN handles. He has two of them. One of them is bite me with a Y.
I'm funny.
And his other his other JHN handle, which I think is a dig at Connor and I, is password is a bad password.
Oh man.
The password to that account password, because that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to do this reverse psychology, right? Like,
But then it's a troll account where if you hack it, it actually like reverses your connection and then you
Hacks
get
you.
access to your account.
That's a great password, though. Password is a bad password.
A long one.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no. You just got to capitalize some random letters.
Yeah.
Put some numbers at the end.
Project Legion is a thing that Fergus knows about. It is the thing that the Bratislav, this is the thing they wanted the Hephaestus engine for. The Imperium was working on making an AI panopticon matrix, which is basically a series of interconnected AIs that can run a planet.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay. All right. The whole time we thought it had the potential to be able to nuke entire planets and obliterate them. And we kept her like saying the whole time, like that would be an awful use of resources to blow up planets. Why would they ever want to do that?
That's not what they want it for. It's just that powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fiascos are the revolutionaries that work with the crew. The leaders of the Fiascos are Electra and Lewis.
Nope, it's me.
Well, besides, I know you knew what I meant. You know what I meant. The other two groups that joined you are the Fixers and the Flame Hearts.
We have more than just the Fiascos?
Yep. You have the Fiascos, the Fixers, and the Flame Hearts.
Dude, my lead roles are going to be nuts.
Mhm.
The Fiasco doesn't have any leader, right? Because there's no GM in Fiasco.
Nice.
That's so funny.
And
Never even played it. Anyway.
That's all the notes that I have here. But yeah, cool. I think that's the most of the details there in terms of game rules. They have like a little handout thing or like a page in here that's like a.
We need to define goals more.
Yes,
because the entire game we go back and forth between. Yep, you completed that goal, and nope, you didn't make a roll towards that goal, so you can't complete it.
Let's just do this, guys. Let's make it simple. Let's get rid of personal goals. Because you guys are going to be having, let's just say like group goal is the thing, right? You guys set off on a mission and you earn XP towards the mission. And once you finish the mission, you get all the XP for it. And everybody.
Okay, I never
Except
particularly
for the
liked
fact-
the personal goal-based system because one or two people always end up being extremely OP, like David and I.
So I'm fine with that, except for the fact that I am much XP behind everybody. Not much. But I also have 4 XP banked in one goal.
What level is everybody? Let's look at that real quick.
I'm level 6, and I have 33 out of 39 XP. So I'd get up to 37 if we just gave me that 4.
Level 5.
Dylan's
You're
level
level
5. Oh,
5?
dang.
Yeah.
I think I'm 7.
Yeah, you're 7.
You're
the
both
highest.
7.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 7 too.
Okay.
How are you level? Did you? No. How are you level 5? You
I don't
didn't
know.
miss.
That's
a
what I'm
handful of
thinking. You didn't
sessions,
miss.
did you?
I don't think she missed any session.
I
Oh
don't-
no, she missed 1 session.
Yeah.
Yeah. How the heck?
It might have just been Dylan not getting her goals well.
Yeah.
I'm honestly fine.
Goals currently written down, so I don't even know. Like,
that's fine. Let's level up everybody to 7. Let's do it.
Seems fair.
Yeah. Let's just bump everybody up to
7. So should everybody be at level 7?
At
then?
level 7.
Okay, so 39 out of 39 XP.
And yeah. And Jared and David, if you're a little bit above the base for 7, let's just put you back at the base for 7.
What?
Well, just because
if almost to 8.
Yeah, well, just it's because then we can keep we can keep the levels exactly the same. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, I would I very much so appreciate that because it feels so metagamey to try to think of goals, and then if the session has nothing to do with those goals, I just have to change them.
Yeah,
and then I have a way better I basically have precog to be I know what goals I'm going to complete.
That's why it feels gamey because you're cheating. Then that's why. But we usually did it anyways.
Yeah, we usually did that all the time
because we were like, oh, you didn't really get a chance to do your thing. So
but let's just do it that way, and then I'll give you group XP for everybody. That'll also slow down the level crawl,
which I think we need to do.
I guess I don't know. I feel like
level 10 is the max. David.
If
we don't get level 10
over the whole season, though,
but level 10 is the max. There's literally you can't level up.
I know
that.
But if we don't spend at least some time, at least a couple of sessions at level 10, it won't feel fun. I just throw that out there. We have to at least experience being level 10, but I don't want to be level 10 for very long.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but that's why I don't.
Yeah. Let's do it with that, like that. And then, so the party goal, I think first is sell the spaceship, right?
Yep.
So we can do that.
That sounds good to me.
Why'd you make a luck save, Evelyn?
I just wanted to see what happened.
What? Well, we're supposed to be at 39. You said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Connor and Carly we can level up your characters between now and then. Cool.
When you're here.
That's true. Yeah, all the time.
You know, some late night leveling up parties.
Yeah.
Except we probably won't have any late nights here.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I am way too excited to play RPG with Carly again, too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
After listening through it, I was like, why hasn't Carly been playing with us? This is so much fun.
Because most of the time nowadays, my bedtime is 8 o'clock.
Hey, same.
Let me find real quick the quick rules thing. We'll read off that. Where is that? Do. I feel like I should have a.
And then Caleb, the thing with Vigo, that's nanobots, then, right?
What are you talking about?
Just for canon for my. Okay.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Here we go. System quick reference sheet. Skill checks. Roll 2d6 and add the character's most relevant attribute, modifier, and skill. Sometimes more than one skill might apply. The PC can choose which to roll. If the roll is equal to or higher than the check difficulty, the PC succeeds. If less, then they either fail outright, attain only a partial success, or suffer an unanticipated turn of events at the GM's discretion. Hey, guess what, Connor? It's in the rules that I get to do stuff like that. Boom!
Got him.
I hate this game.
For opposed skill checks, both participants roll and the higher roll wins. Let's see. 6 is for difficulty. 6 is a relatively simple task that is still more than the PC would usually be expected to manage in the regular background. 8 is a significant challenge. 10 is something too difficult to be expected of anyone but a skilled expert. 12, only a true master could expect to carry this off. And 14 plus, only a true master has any chance of achieving this at all. And even then they will probably fail. Just like to note that Fergus has multiple times gotten 15 plus. So
yeah, those charts are usually a little generous.
Yeah. Saving throws. To make a saving throw, victim rolls 1d20 and tries to equal or exceed their relevant saving throw score. Target physical saves for poisons, disease, and exhaustion. Evasion saves for diving for cover and leaking me back from peril. Mental saves for resisting psychic powers. Injury and healing. A target reduced to 0 hit points by a lethal attack is mortally wounded. One dropped by non-lethal assaults is unconscious. Dying victims can take no actions and will die soon without help. Allies can attempt an intelligence/heal or dex/heal skill check as a main action to stabilize the victim. With no medical tools, the difficulty is 10 plus the rounds since they went down. With a med kit, it's difficulty 8 plus the time, and using a Lazarus patch makes it difficulty 6 plus the time. Failed checks.
How punishing.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys don't need to worry because I'm pretty sure I can heal decapitation.
Yes,
yeah,
that's true.
As long as you get there in like a minute or two, they can be like blasted, and you're like,
so
it's fine.
There's more rules about that. Combat is divided into rounds of 6 seconds. First, every participant rolls initiative, rolling 1d8 plus their dexterity modifier. On their turn, a combatant can make one main action, one move, and as many on-turn actions as is plausible. A combatant can take instant actions at any time, even when it's not their turn, or even if dice have already been rolled. You can use a main action to attack an enemy, disengage from melee, use a skill, reload a gun, produce a stowed item, take a second move action, or do anything else you could accomplish in 6 seconds. You can use a move action to stand up from prone, club up a ranged weapon, or move 10 meters. Your movement is half that if you're climbing, swimming, or otherwise navigating rough terrain. If you can't you can't split a move action around your main action. You have to move all at once. If you move away from a melee combatant without spending the main action to disengage from the fray, all adjacent melee attackers get a free attack on you. You can use an on-turn action to fall prone, say something, drop an object, or do anything else that's very simple to do and takes almost no time or attention. You can use instant action at any time to trigger certain special powers. You can also use it to make a snap attack with a weapon or go totally defensive, though both of the latter will cost you your main action for the round and can't be done if you've already used your main action. That's fun. I didn't actually know that. So instant action can be done at any point in the combat. So like literally if you haven't done anything on the round yet, you can actually use an instant action to make a snap attack with a weapon or go totally defensive, though both of the latter will cost you your main action for the round and it can't be done if you've already used your main action. So you can literally just decide, I'm going to go now.
Yeah. So is a snap attack in some way, I assume, less effective? I assume
it's less effective, yeah. It's capitalized, yeah.
Right, because I feel like you would just be like, all right, I make my attack. Effective. Now I make an instant attack at the top of the round. You die.
Yep.
But yeah.
Hitting a target is more or less normal, just d20 stuff. Attack bonus, relevant combat skill, and an attribute modifier. Let's see. On a hit, the attacker rolls a weapon's damage. On a miss, a weapon that inflicts shock damage might still hurt the target. If the weapon shock can harm the target's armor class, the target takes the weapon shock damage even on a miss.
It's mostly a melee thing.
Yeah. That is all the like system quick reference sheet stuff. And honestly, that's most of the game right there.
Yep.
So real quick, anyone have anything on their character sheet? We can go through these, and if you have any questions or thoughts, we can go through them.
I should go to bed. Oh, I keep leaning forward.
So let's just do this then. We'll just end here. And then anytime between now and then, if anyone has any questions about their sheet, we can. I'll send you guys the PDF. We'll look up stuff, just by ourselves. But if you have any questions, you can let me know, and we'll figure it out. And then sometime between now and then, we'll level up Evelyn and Dylan, and probably Till too. I don't know what level he is. What level is he? 6. So yeah, I'll level him up to 7. Cool. Any other last thoughts?
Excuse me.
Yes.
I have my hand raised.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You can see in the corner here.
Yes.
Thank you for calling on me.
Uh-huh.
I'll lower my hand now.
Yes.
No, so in all seriousness, so I'll obviously give you crap because you're the GM again, and that's what we do. But I think you deserve a round of applause. Listening back through Elysian Road Season 1, like not only did you randomly generate an entire like solar system, galaxy, multiple a universe for us to explore. But I think this is one of the best RPGs we've done. And you also like do a lot of production, and you wrote an entire soundtrack for us, which gets stuck in my head all the time when I listen to it. So
that's awesome.
I think our GM deserves a round of applause, and we're very excited for our our next season.
Yeah, I'm really pumped.
Yep.
It'll be a lot of fun. I have been listening to music all day around, when I'm doing something at work that they don't need my ears for. We've got some ideas flowing. We got some fun stuff. I have the entire starting scenario already planned out. And I'm very, very excited about it. I think it'll not just be like a bang to start off everything with. But I think it'll be a lot of fun for each of the characters to get a chance to for the audience to relearn what they can do and what they're good at and how their character works.
Nice.
So should be fun.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Thanks for playing with me, guys. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And I think we'll go ahead and stop here. And if anyone has any questions about Stars on Number stuff, we can figure it out between now and then. I gotta run 2 faction turns, and I gotta I have to make a bunch of NPCs. So that'll be fun. Actually in the rules, to stack them and stuff. So that'll be good. That'll be good. I'm excited. And I also have to finish Chrome Wizard.
Yeah. It's gonna be genre whiplash.
It's gonna be genre whiplash here for a week or two as I finish all that stuff. Yeah. So. All right. This has been Elysian Road, our season recap. We're gonna be back with episode 16, the beginning of season 2, next Tuesday if everything lines up. All right. That's it. We're out.